What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, and today we are jumping into WWE NXT, the premiere live on the CW network from October 1st, 2024, live in Chicago, Illinois. And to kick off NXT, we have the general manager, well, not really general manager, he's sort of like the COO of NXT, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, comes out. Shawn Michaels welcomes us to the premiere of NXT on the CW. He says we can't start the new season without new titles. So Shawn Michaels reveals the new NXT and NXT Women's Championship belts. They're a silver color. They look good. They look better than the colored belts that they have currently. So, and then Shawn Michaels says, I got one question for you. And then Triple H comes out and says, are you ready? Good throwback to DX. Fun stuff to kick off the night. Our first match, we have the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez defending against Giulia. Decent back and forth action between these two. Roxanne grabs the belt to distract the referee while the ref is distracted. A lady comes out wearing a hood and lands a DDT to Giulia on the floor. Roxanne lands pop rocks, and Roxanne Perez retains the NXT Women's Championship. The lady takes off her hood and is revealed to be Cora Jade, who just returned to NXT. She's obviously looking to work with Roxanne here. Lexis King then introduces himself to CM Punk backstage. He says he doesn't want to be like his dad, Brian Pillman. Punk says you're either going to win at all costs or you're going to fight the spirit of your dad the rest of your life. Good advice there from CM Punk. Next up, we have a street fight between Wes Lee and Zachary Wentz, two former best friends going at it. A lot of crazy moments. We see Zachary Wentz laying a swanton bomb to Wes Lee with a trash can over him. Wesley tosses Zachary Wentz off the ropes, and Zachary lands over the table on the floor. That looked crazy. And then Wesley wraps a chain around his leg and lands a flying meteora, and Wesley gets the victory over Zachary Wentz in this street fight here. Moving along, we have Miz TV with NXT North American Champion Oba Femi and his challenger Tony D'Angelo. He'll be fighting Femi next week on NXT. Miz asked Tony, what is it gonna make this match different than his match against Oba Femi at No Mercy? Tony says Oba dominates the game. I felt his power, but I use this fear as motivation, and I will dethrone the ruler of NXT and become NXT North American Champion. Oba Femi then says Tony doesn't believe a word he's saying. You've had a successful career, but people like you have ceilings. This is my title, and you will never be champion. Tony says, you talk about me like you know me. I'm from the streets of Chicago. I got people who motivate me to be the man. Oba says they can't fight for you. Next week, it's just us, and we both remember I broke and beat you last time. Tony says, you're just a man, Oba. And Oba says, I am inevitable. You're still broken. We'll see these two collide on NXT this upcoming week. Next up, we see Roxanne confronting Cora Jade backstage, and she says maybe a common enemy can bring us back together. Next up, we have Fatal Influence Jasmine Nix taking on Jaida Parker and Lola Vice. During the match, Lola accidentally hits Jaida, which allows Jaida to get upset, and Jaida leaves Lola alone in the ring, allowing JC Jane to land a rolling encore and double knees, and Fatal Influence get the win. After Fallon Henley tells us that she wants the North American Women's Championship, the champion Kelani Jordan says, I didn't come here alone. And that's when women's tag team champions Bianca, Belair, and Jade Cargill show up, and they take out Fatal Influence with help from Kelani Jordan. We're going to see a 6-woman tag match next week on NXT. Good way to get us pumped for that. And we've made it to our main event here, the NXT champion All Ego Ethan Page defending against Trick Williams. We have special guest referee CM Punk to officiate this match. A lot of back and forth action. We see Ethan Page hitting Ego's edge to Trick Williams through a table. Trick then lands a high knee. Ethan falls on top of Trick for a 2. CM Punk helps both men up, and Trick lands a twisting neck breaker. Ethan lands a go to sleep for a 2. And then Trick Williams lands a trick shot, and Trick Williams is our new NXT champion after CM Punk lays out Ethan Page with go to sleep. Great premiere here. We've got a new champion in Trick Williams. We see Cora Jade returning. Wes Lee gets a victory over Zachary Wentz in a crazy street fight. A lot of good stuff coming your way with NXT. Next week, we have Randy Orton taking on Javon Evans. We're going to see that 6-woman tag match, Fatal Influence versus Kelani, Jordan, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill, plus much, much more. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.